Assalamualaikum. My name is NORHAFIZAH binti SHARIL. My metric number is 055595.
Assalamualaikum. My name is HANISAH binti REFRIZAL and my metric number is 055737.
Assalamualaikum. My name is SHAFIQAH binti ZAIMI. Metric number 056174.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NABILA binti ABDULLAH and my metric number is 055452.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ashraf AIMAN bin ABDUL HAKIM. Metric number 055926.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Salahuddin bin Muhammad ROSLIZAT 055087.
Operational risk defined by Islamic Financial Services Board, IFSB, for Islamic Bank is the risk related to the loss resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes, or from external events. There are several types of operational risk, which is Sharia non-compliance risk, people risk, technology risk, fiduciary risk, legal risk and reputational risk. Operational risk in this respect particularly arises as the banks may not have enough qualified professionals, capacity and capability. The data will be collected from annual report in 2019 until 2020 for 3 banks in Malaysia, which is Malayan Banking Berhad, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad and RHB Banking Group, RHB Islamic. Research objectives. 1. To assess the potency of risk identification, risk assessment and analysis, risk monitoring and controlling within the banks in Malaysia. 2. To examine the important aspects of risk management practices of banks in Malaysia. This is to look at the important aspect of risk management such as avoiding, preventing, shifting, sharing and assuming risk of Malayan Banking, Maybank, RHB Islamic Bank, and Bank Islam. 3. To investigate the relationship between the risk management and performance of the selected banks in Malaysia.
Finding and discussion. Findings Maybank in year 2019. 3 lines of defense concept. Primarily responsible for the day-to-day management of operational risks within their respective business operations. Responsible for the formulation and implementation of operational risk management policy within the group. Providing independent assurance in respect of the overall effectiveness of the operational risk management process. The total base LL, risk-weighted assets, RWA, of Maybank Islamic Berhad, Maybank Bank Berhad, Maybank Indonesia Tbk and Maybank Singapore Limited are computed based on operational risk under basic indicator approach. Environmental efforts focus on 2 key issues. Resource scarcity. Climate change. Discussion. The weakening external environment resulted in some international corporate borrowers displaying asset quality weakness. BNM also provided reassurance that financial intermediation activities will be supported by sufficient liquidity in the banking system. The group and the bank group these exposure into smaller homogeneous portfolios, based on a combination of internal and external characteristics of the loan. Delivering an exceptional customer experience is tightly woven into our aspirations of becoming the digital bank of choice. Deployed an integrated assurance function dashboard that facilitates the timely identification of risk hotspots. Finding Maybank in year 2020. 1. External event. External events have occurred which is problems or disasters that occur outside the control of the organization. In the March 2020, Malaysia was hit by the widespread of the virus COVID-19. Almost all sectors of the economy are forced to stop their operations and only do working from their home. However, some sectors that provide basic necessities are allowed to operate. This could result in negatively impact in Maybank Islamic brand value or stakeholders' perception of the group. 2. Information technology, IT, risk. IT risk is the possibility of an unforeseen and undesirable business outcome due to the failure or misuse of information. The cases related to the confidentiality, availability and integrity of information and services that provided. Discussion. Using business continuity management, BCM, to identify and lessen the consequences of an interruption. BCM is defined as a way to identify and planning strategies for an organization to recovering operations in the event of a disaster. Maybank have developed a pandemic preparation framework to ensure the continuity business operation, safety of their staff, families and communities in the eventuality of a pandemic. For information technology risk, Maybank are constantly have evaluated their cyber defense capabilities to secure and protect all customer data and transaction payment and also reinforce their security against cyber attacks. Do depth analyzing and upgraded on IT infrastructure and system to secure the safety and reduce the possibility of interruption and threat. Maybank findings in year 2021. Operational events or external factors could result in monetary losses or negatively impact our brand value and/or stakeholders' perception of the group. Significant risk drivers that may impact Maybank businesses. Technological risk, potential surge in data breaches as well as malicious activities such as cyber attacks and phishing as a result of increasing digital and remote working arrangements. Non-financial risk, potential loss of revenue, reputation and/or productivity arising from failure to maintain operational resilience across the supply chain. Sustainability, implications on business continuity as well as insurance coverage and/or premium arising from the impacts of climate hazards. Information technology, IT, risk, financial loss, disruption or reputational damage caused by failure of people, processes or technology leading to cyber attack on critical systems and/or unavailability of critical technology components. Discussion. Offer financial relief in various forms to individuals, micro-enterprises and SMEs. Continue to introduce innovative products and services leveraging data analytics and enhancing our digital propositions. Maybank announced in 2021 that we will not finance new coal activities and aim to transition with our borrowers towards achieving a sustainable energy mix over the medium to long term. Make an induction program. Connecting customers to growth opportunities despite challenges from prolonged pandemic. Supporting the community and enriching customer experience through innovative products and services.
Islam Malaysia Berhad year 2019 and 2020. Sharia non-compliance, SNC, risk. Validate business activities, new product features, and services offered complies with Sharia rules and principles according to regulatory requirements. 1. 10 Sharia training and briefing sessions were held covering 894 among the bank's employees nationwide inclusive of virtual onboarding programs for new staff. The coverage of the sessions includes Sharia governance updates, Sharia risk management and fundamentals of Sharia in business operations. Internal reorganization. 1. BIM Holdings Berhad, BHP, proposes to undertake the proposed internal reorganization which will entail the disposal by BHP of its entire shareholdings in the identified subsidiaries namely BIM Securities, Holdings, SDN, BHD, BIM Securities SDN, BHD, and Syarikat Al-Ijara SDN, BHD, to its wholly owned subsidiary, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, Bank Islam or the bank, to be fully settled in cash. The consideration for these disposals will be based on the latest audited net asset value of these subsidiaries at the time of the signing of the share sale agreement with the bank and will be funded using internally generated funds of the bank. Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad in year 2021. Sharia non-compliance, SNC. Risk. All policies, products, services and processes are subject to Sharia assessment. 1. The implementation of Risk Control Self-Assessment, RCSA, aims to assess the significance of identified SNC risks and the effectiveness of the controls in the respective functional areas. 2. The Operational Risk Integrated System, ORIS, launch covers the Sharia compliance elements on top of operational risk and business continuity management. This platform can manage risk profiles for all business and support units more effectively, thus reducing the probability of SNC or Sharia-related events. Technology risk. Cyber attacks and system disruptions. 1. BIM has established the relevant framework and policy and has also put in place appropriate control measures and processes that are continuously being reviewed and enhanced.
The group also continues to invest in the latest IT infrastructure and tools as well as human capital development.
Finding of RHB Islamic 2019. 1. Technology risk, advancement and reliance upon information technology to support business operations. 2. Cyber risk, channel for the delivery of banking services. 3. New product and services approval process. RHB established a policy on product development and approval and guidelines on introduction of new/variation of product SAMP, services lifecycle. 4. Legal risk, arise from unenforceable, unfavorable, defective or unintended contracts, lawsuits or claims, developments in laws and regulations, or non-compliance with applicable laws and regulations. Discussion. How RHB handle the issue. 1. Tech risk. The group's technology risk management framework ensure that a governance structure is in place for the identification, assessment and management of technology risks within existing IT operations. 2. Cyber risk. RHB subscribe to the various threat intelligence providers to obtain the latest cyber landscape information that will be used for the risk mitigation. RHB Islamic findings in year 2020 and 2021. 2020 movement control orders have affected the group operational. RHB embarked on a group pandemic strategy for all business and functional units, which involved split operations and work-from-home arrangements. It increasing cybersecurity con. 2021 RHB Bank need to face the corresponding public health measures such as movement control orders since there are new variants of the COVID-19 virus and multiple waves of infection outbreaks. Discussion. 2020 all critical services were identified and split into teams operating from different locations. All third-party service providers and enablers of essential functions were identified and triggered to ensure continued provision of services, and customers were encouraged to perform their financial transactions through the various online and mobile channels and self-service terminals. 2021 there enhanced the business continuity plan, BCP, pandemic strategy towards transitioning. Building new permanent premises for split operations, improved process monitoring essential third-party service providers.
As a conclusion, operational risk is inevitable for a company. This is one type of risk that is controllable. However, it is not guaranteed to be eliminated. This is why it's really important to bank to knowing the risk that the company faced so that they can take the action to overcome the problem before it's being more worse and affect the business and also the company name.